This car's paint is super oxidized, and it's at the point where you can't buff it back to a shiny finish. This is just bare paint. There's not any clear coat on top of it, so we're gonna sand it down flat, get a nice finish on the paint so it's not oxidized, and then spray a coat of clear over it. First, I'm gonna start with a more inconspicuous panel. Like, this is really low here, and we have a good line where we can stop by this light. And I want to do a panel like this first because I wouldn't want to start by like a quarter panel or a door where if something were to go wrong, like the paint has a lot of orange peel, you don't want that on a main panel. So starting low just to test and kind of get the feel of it is always a good way. We'll take some 1200 grit sandpaper and a foam block and start to sand off some of the oxidation. Just take it slow and definitely don't cut through the paint anywhere. Now we'll wipe it down and we'll mask everything off. We got these cans for $2, which is a great price. And since we're doing that first coat matte finish, we're gonna be able to stretch out the gloss coat. I'll start from the bottom and work my way up, and we'll do about 3 coats. And that was the first flash coat. We'll put on a second coat. It looks a little cloudy now, but we'll let it dry and it'll clear up. It's been sitting for about a day, so I'll take some 2000 grit sandpaper and just flatten it out. Just getting the dust out. For the top coat, I'm gonna use gloss. And that looks a lot better. There's a lot more of a deep shine to it and more of the color of the paint comes out. So I'm definitely gonna wet sand a bit more of the car and spray on a layer of clear. And just with some 1200 grit, you can see the difference between just with a few minutes of sanding with 1200 grit to remove that oxidization. That side I haven't done anything to, and it's in pretty bad shape. And with a little bit of sanding, it brought a lot of the color back and removed a lot of that oxidization. We'll sand down the rest of the paint and then add a coat of clear coat. I'll clean it down with some 90% isopropyl rubbing alcohol. The first coat was light. I'm gonna go ahead and put the second coat on a little bit heavier, and then we'll make it shine with the third top gloss coat. We'll add the final coat of gloss clear. Here's the hood before we started with all the oxidization on it. It's pretty bad. Then you've got where we sanded it with 1200 or 600 grit to get the oxidization off and flatten out the paint a little bit. And then I'll show you what it looks like when you have that clear coat sprayed on. And with the clear coat, it looks so much better. It's not like a brand new car, but it's gonna keep the oxidization off and it just looks better and it'll last longer.